Thank you very much for the introduction. The perfect also pronunciation, and you touched on the most important points to introduce myself. As you said, I'm the ambassador of Italy to Zambia and to Malawi and to COMESA too. And I'm very grateful to the Amini Center for Policy Research. I feel very privileged to be here with you and with all the guests. It's a great opportunity. I really enjoy interacting with the social society, with the civil society of Zambia. The subject that we chose is fascinating. I'm very excited. And I will start by thanking you also for the congratulations of the Italian national team that won the Euro 2021 Cup. Yes, we didn't sleep much the night of the final. It was an incredible match till the last shot of the last penalty. I want to congratulate also our English friends. It was a great match, and of course that is football. One has to win, and in this case we won, and it was a very, very exciting moment for all of us. And this is also related to what we will talk about today, because also football, like cuisine, like food, is part of a culture of a nation. And the same is for Zambia too, where football is so important. So I think this is also part of this introduction. And again, thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and congratulations once again. And to those who have joined us, my name is Dabwitso Zumanipiri, and I'm the Executive Director of Amini Center for Policy Research. You can call me Zumani if the first name is difficult. So just to get into our discussion, Ambassador, it's known that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy has a program called Worldwide Week of Italian Cuisine, with some focus on training of experts or future professionals of the food industry. And also you deliver one of the most famous recipes in the Italian cuisine. So just to get our discussion started, I wanted to find out if this program has been implemented in Zambia, and if yes, how has it been performing? And if not, are there any plans to have it implemented here in Zambia?
Thank you, Tumani, for your question. The Italian week, the Italian cuisine week around the world is a pillar of our foreign policy in promoting Italy abroad. And this is a project that has been implemented by Italy for some years now, and it is a very, very successful initiative. It is carried out, as I said, all over the world, and at the same time. So for 1 week, the whole world is supported in experiencing the Italian cuisine through the embassies and the consulates of the Italian Foreign Service of the Italian government. And yes, we did perform this project also here in Zambia. Before me, my predecessors, of course, and since my arrival 2 years ago, we realized 2 editions of this initiative. And we are very proud of these 2 editions, and I will explain the philosophy of this project. As I said, food cuisine is part of a nation culture. It's not only about nutrition, but it's also about experiencing life and sharing the enjoyment of life through food. And it's also a sign of creativity, a sign of the soul of a nation that through this cuisine tradition expresses the feelings and the connection to nature and to the environment. So through cuisine, we experience the soul of a nation. So that's why it's a very important initiative to connect people, to boost people-to-people relations. And this is a pillar of the broad activity that the embassy in Zambia is carrying out. The purpose is to promote Italy and to promote the relations between Italy and Zambia. I always say that this is a relationship that is mutually beneficial. We are here to let our Zambian friends know more about Italy, and we also want Italy to know more about Zambia, because each nation around the world can share the treasure of its own tradition. So it is an enrichment that goes both ways, and this is the purpose of all our projects, and in particular in this project about the Italian cuisine. And I will share with you, I'm happy to share with you how in our two editions we follow these two ways, because on the first year when I arrived here in Zambia, we invited an Italian chef from Sicily to come here to Lusaka and to Livingstone, where his name is Alessandro Del Bono. He trained for some days a number of Zambian chefs. We hosted the training here at the Italian residence, where the Zambian chefs could learn from this Italian chef how to prepare Italian dishes from the Mediterranean tradition. And we had more than 20 Zambian chefs that could follow the training, and they were invited also to prepare the dishes on the last day. And we hosted a lunch here at the residence with Zambian guests and also the diplomatic community. And we were honored with the presence of the Minister of Tourism and Culture, Honorable Chito Tela. That was the first edition in 2019 when I arrived. And so in this case, as you see, we brought Italy here to Zambia to teach, to share. And of course, in this training, also the Zambian chefs could share with the Italian chef some suggestions and contribution from the Zambian tradition. This year, for the second edition since I was here, we followed the other way around. We implemented a project where we will send 5 Zambian students from the Zambia Institute for Tourism and Hospitality of Lusaka to Italy, to a city called Spoleto, where there is an Italian school, the Italian school De Carolis, where they will follow a 5 weeks training on Italian cuisine in Italy. And these 5 students were selected inside a class of students, and all the students, these are the let's say the students more gifted on this cuisine on cuisine, but all the students of that class will be able to follow the course online. So in total, we will have more than 30 Zambian students that will be trained in the Italian cuisine. 5 of them, as I said, will be for 5 weeks in Spoleto. And this is all financed by the Italian government. So as you can see, in this case is the Zambian chefs that go to Italy, so they can experience also Italy there. And how we, so this is the purpose of the project. And we launched this project with a gala dinner that we hosted here in Lusaka at the 15 restaurant, where again the Minister of Tourism and Culture, Honorable Chitotela, who is a great supporter of the relations between the two countries in the cultural sector, attended as well and supported very much this project. Once these students will finish their course, when they will be back, we will host another event allowing them to cook and prepare the dishes that they have learned. The purpose, as I said, is we will have 5 Zambian Italian ambassadors in food when they are back. So they will be trained and they will be able in their career to promote and share here in Zambia dishes of the Italian cuisine. So, yeah, I would stop here if you have any questions. But this is the Italian Week programs that we have implemented here in Zambia, and we are very, very satisfied and very happy with it.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. Thank you so much for that comprehensive response, Ambassador. And I'm sure the guests are delighted, and they'll be looking forward to be among the next cohort of Italian ambassadors that will go and learn the tradition of how Italians prepare their cuisines and come and implement them in Zambia. I'm glad that you mentioned one important aspect. You said the whole essence of your presence here is to improve the people relations. And just a quick question before I allow the participants to actually ask, because the whole essence of this program is for them to actually have to be able to get into a conversation with you. Are there any Zambian cuisines that you enjoy at the embassy?
Yes, I have the blessing of having in the Italian residence a very nice Zambian lady who is our cook, and she is very skillful in preparing Italian dishes. She is she really excellent, but of course she also prepares sometimes for us and for my children. We have 5 children, so it's a big family. Dishes from the Zambian cuisine, of course, shima, that my children know how to eat in the Zambian way. But we learn also some important ingredients from the Zambian richness. I would say chibwambwa, lumanda, zumba, kalemembula. Zambia is a country that is incredibly blessed in resources, not only water, not only the nature and the green, but especially with with the products of agriculture. And this is another sector that we are trying to support very much, is agriculture, and the support in developing the capacity of Zambian companies in agriculture is one of our main goal. We hosted already a webinar last year on agriculture with the participation also of the Ministry of Agriculture from Zambia, and is always a key point of our events with the Minister of Commerce as well. We hosted an important seminar focused also on agriculture, because Italy is also a country very strong in agriculture. Every year there is an important fair in Italy on agro industry, and also this year in September we will support, we will host, we will finance the participation of one Zambian person to this fair, and of course also we are supporting other Zambian companies to participate, so they can also bring to Italy what the Zambian market can offer, because a fair is a fair where the participants can present also their products, and also they can have contact with the Italian counterparts to improve their production and the tools by which they can develop agriculture. Maybe I opened a little bit larger and broader my reply and your answer, but I think it was useful also to proceed now and introduce the question from all our friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just, do we have any question from the members that are joined us? And just before a person comes in, Ambassador, I'm glad that you've mentioned all these amazing things that you're doing through your embassy here. And I'm sure that the big question that everybody's asking, how can, because 90% of the audience that we're privileged to have today is full of young people. How can young people be able to access these opportunities through your embassy? Because I think one regret, if I should say, is that we often see these things as if they are far from us, and yet they are actually made for us. So perhaps you can actually enlighten us on how these young people can be able to access these opportunities. And if you have a question, just notify me, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Tumani. It's a very important question. I would share with our young friends I would share with them, I would invite them to be ambitious and to feel unlimited in the possibilities that are there in the world. There are so many potentials, and I think we live in a time where, yes, of course, there is a big pandemic and there are crises around, and of course it's not easy, but I would invite all of us to reflect on how we have huge opportunities nowadays that were not there before. It's easy to go beyond the place where we live. It's easy to go beyond the school where we study. We can use the environment where we are as a platform to take off and fly even higher and go in the world and explore all possibilities. So I think, being a little bit older than you, looking backwards, I think that what is important is to follow our passion, to follow our dreams, to be inspired in what we want to do. Going from philosophy to practical terms and to reply your question, my suggestion is, first of all, to follow the activities of the Italian embassy. Because I'm speaking about Italy, but of course there are also the other embassies. There is the delegation of the European Union that is very, very active. My invitation is to use all the means. The Italian embassy and the Italian government is one of these means that young people can use and can take advantage of. So about Italy, I suggest, first of all, to follow our social media channels, where we will promote all our activities and our projects. Our website, for example, now we will now it's not there yet, but we will work a lot. We are working a lot on university cooperation and also on some form of scholarships that we would like to promote more, as we did, for example, in this case of the Italian cuisine training course. So my first suggestion is to follow our activities and to take part in these activities. We have also you can have a look to the projects that have already been done, because we have a YouTube channel of the embassy where you can follow the videos about our activities. This is, I think, a very important starting point, because first of all, we have been very active, and I want to also thank my team in the embassy. They are really great and they work very hard with a lot of passion to promote our relations. We work very much in the economy. We work very much on economic and cultural events, and in these events we share the Italian culture, for example, about contemporary art, but also about, for example, the links between art and circular economy. We had a beautiful event of 3 days this year in end of March about the importance of the recycling of waste and the opportunities that are linked to the circular economy. So from trash to cash, for example. So how we can be helping environment and at the same time taking advantage of it. We had the participation of Italian companies that are incredibly skillful in using the waste to produce wealth. And so this technology can be taken to Zambia, and they are very interested, and we will have also follow up. These companies will come. We are working on a mission for these companies to come here, and we already hosted them in another seminar where they met Zambian counterparts. And we had also the participation of the United Nations Development Program. I invite all of you to look at their website to get acquainted with their activities, because, for example, they supported very much Zambians with the startup projects. So what I'm trying to tell is that we can be creative. We can use the information that is at our hand to see what is our way of developing projects. And I think that in Zambia, for what I see, there are many opportunities. I agree, it's not always easy. It's not always easy because there are challenges, there are requirements, there is work to do, but there is always the need for the first step, if we want to achieve our goal.
Indeed, Ambassador, there's always a need for a first step. And like you said, who knew you could turn trash into cash? Thank you so much for that response. We have a question from Martha Nyendwa. Martha, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Martha. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. So my question for Mr. Antonino is, ever since COVID started, how has been the impact of COVID on the food and beverage industry?
Thank you, Martha, for this question, which is very important. COVID is posing very strong challenges because, for example, it hampered or limited a lot all the distribution chains. What am I referring to? If you go to the shopping malls in Zambia and to the supermarkets, you can find Italian products. And this is the first way to know the products of our tradition. But since the start of the pandemic, of course, there have been limitations. So the imports of these products through, for example, South Africa, became more difficult. So I know for sure, that also Italian businessmen that are here in Zambia, very much engaged in promoting Italian products, experience many difficulties because of course the containers were reduced, the cost went higher, the economic crisis, of course, reduced the buying capacity of the consumers. So there are a lot of challenges, but we need to look at the future and also at the present. The European Union has introduced an incredible support program to the economy of the European countries, and I'm sure that this program will help the Italian companies, the European companies, and this will help to go globally. It will reach also Africa and the rest of the world. So what I'm trying to say is that there are at global level, the international community has put forward all the means to support the relaunch of the economy. This has been a very important effort at global level, and I'm very happy to say that Italy this year is holding the chairmanship of the G20. Is the group of the most developed economic countries, and in that framework, with our leadership, many programs have been introduced to support the countries that have been highly affected by the economic consequences of the pandemic, and among these also Zambia, with the moratoria about the repayment of the debt. So what I'm trying to say is that the whole international community is engaged in overcoming this time and in preparing and paving the way for the relaunch of the economy.
Thank you so much. I hope your question has been answered, Martha.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah, thank you. We have roughly about 6 minutes left with the ambassador. So do we have any other question from the participants? And while we are perhaps waiting for a question, Ambassador, I think I'm impressed that we've actually touched on cuisines, and we've also looked at the economy and various aspects of what your embassy is doing for the people of Zambia. And I think for us right now, especially as young people, there's so much anxiety going on. The fact that we have elections coming, and yeah, no, I couldn't state much further than that. So perhaps what sort of appeal or advice do you have for us as we prepare to exercise our democratic right?
Thank you. I'm very impressed since when I arrived. I've always been impressed by the Zambian recent history. Zambia is a solid democracy since independence. There've been the development of the country and the role of democracy. I always underline when I speak about Zambia the fact that there have been powers change. I mean, the passing of power from leader to leader, from party to party through democratic elections. And this is very peaceful democratic elections. So I think this is a very, very important value that all Zambia must be aware of. This is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry to cut you short. I think. Thank you so much for reminding us that we are a peaceful nation and we should adhere to that. I will take one last question from Chanda before we allow you to go. Chanda, you can ask.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for being here with us. It's a pleasure. My name is Chanda Katema, and I'm the Finance and Administration Director for Amini Center for Policy Research. Yeah, so Paul Rocco defined gastrodiplomacy as a public policy tool, which he further says is a method of reaching hearts and minds through people's stomachs. Yeah, then we also conducted a quick survey with our participants who are here today, and the majority of them said their favorite Italian food is pizza on top. Then the second one was pasta. Yeah, so my question goes, are there any other food products beside these two that Italy can use to reach out to our hearts and minds through our stomachs? Thank you.
Thank you, Chanda. Thank you so much for having me here today. The Italian products are, I would say, almost infinite. And, pasta and pizza is, of course, very well-known dishes. But already here in Zambia, there are very good products that I invite to try. For example, cheese, Parmesan cheese, and other cheese. The wine is, we have an incredible production of wines. The coffee, we have also mozzarella. We have Italians here in Zambia that produce cheese, mozzarella, and that import, for example, ham, San Daniele, or others that are really incredible taste, that we can experience. So my suggestion is to look around also on the web and try to get acquainted with the other dishes and try them, because pizza, yes, pasta, yes, but there are so many products, and of course once you go to Italy, and of course when the pandemic is over, it will be easier to go, you can experience so many dishes that are incredible.
Thank you so much for your time, Ambassador. Any final thoughts?
I want to thank you very much. It was a great experience. Please, I always love to meet young Zambian friends. So I will be happy to come back whenever you will be willing to discuss other subjects.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and to our participants. Thank you so much for making the time, and a huge thanks and to your entire team at the embassy. They've been very helpful with regards to organizing this event, and I hope this is just the beginning of the relationship that we'll be having with your embassy. And have a great morning, and thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.